South African case law by my advocatus. The case for today's discussion is State v. Masiya 2007, Volume 2, SACR. 435, held in the Constitutional Court. Let me set the scene for you. It's March 2004 in Mpumalanga. A 44-year-old man named Masiya commits a horrific act against a 9-year-old girl. Masiya was initially charged with rape. However, the evidence at trial showed that the child had been anally penetrated, not vaginally. Now you might think, so what? Rape is rape, right? Well, not according to South African law in 2004. Our common law definition of rape was incredibly narrow. It only covered non-consensual vaginal penetration by a penis. Anal penetration, regardless of how traumatic, was classified as the lesser offense of indecent assault. The regional magistrate faced a dilemma: do you apply the law as it is, or develop it to reflect constitutional values? The magistrate did something remarkable. He developed the common law definition of rape to include acts of non-consensual sexual penetration of the male sexual organ into the vagina or anus of another person. But here's where it gets controversial. The magistrate then convicted Masiya under this newly extended definition. This raised a fundamental question about the principle of legality: can you be convicted under a law that didn't exist when you committed the act? The High Court confirmed the conviction and declared the old definition unconstitutional. But both courts applied the extended definition retrospectively to Masiya. When this reached our Constitutional Court, the justices faced a complex balancing act. On one hand, protecting women and children from sexual violence. On the other, the principle of legality: you cannot be convicted for an act that wasn't a crime when you committed it. Justice Nkobinde found an elegant solution. The court agreed that the definition needed development. Non-consensual anal penetration causes trauma equal to vaginal penetration. The distinction was irrational and failed to protect dignity of women and girls. So yes, the court extended the definition to include anal penetration of females. But crucially, they made this extension apply prospectively only. The new definition would only apply to acts committed after the judgment date. This meant Masiya couldn't be convicted under the extended definition. The court set aside his rape conviction and replaced it with indecent assault, what his conduct constituted under existing law. The court emphasized that being convicted of indecent assault didn't automatically mean a more lenient sentence. Masiya had assaulted a 9-year-old child, and this should be reflected in sentencing. What makes this judgment significant is how it demonstrates the Constitutional Court's approach to developing common law. Development must be incremental and cautious. Courts must avoid appropriating the legislature's role in law reform. The court limited its development to the specific facts: anal penetration of females, but didn't address male victims or oral penetration. Those matters would be dealt with by legislature or courts when circumstances make it necessary.